Okay, good morning guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Yeah, today I'm just playing a little bit of catch up, so I'm going to be pulling up some reference material for, let me just switch over into I've just been tinkering with some materials, trying to get a bit of a custom look going on. I've just accidentally pressed BPR and rendered it. Great stuff. Bear with me guys. Go away, key shot. Okay, so come on. Right, I'm actually just going to go and pick up a default project for this one. So don't need any extra resources from another one. So go here. Okay, let me grab my photo reference. I think it was on my Patreon page. Let's see what people sent. Nothing's loading fast today. Okay, so I didn't actually have many suggestions for this one, so we're going to go for, we've got Richard Smith submitted, is it Chihuahua? A Chihuahua sat on top of a pit bull. In the absence of other submissions, I've got a couple of geckos to do, which are my sister-in-law's. I was doing Mabel. We've got cats, obviously, that have been submitted. And I owe Rosie some dogs, so I think it's only fair that I start with Rosie's dogs, because I know the poor bloke has been waiting for these forever. So let's go find him. Let's find his pictures. Okay, let's start with this beautiful dog. Morning Luke, how are we doing mate? Luke, I know it's Father's Day the weekend and I got some lovely stuff off the kids and everything like that, but your diorama absolutely made my weekend. I love the kids and everything, and I love all the stuff they did, and we had a wonderful time, but that Costa del Sol you've done is just spectacular. So thanks for sharing that, dude. Right. Oh, Luke, love it, mate. I'm sorry I didn't get Barrett and the other guys finished for you in time for you to include them in the work, but hopefully I get them actually done. I'm going to be working through various things, including those guys over these next few sculpts, the next few streams, or next week or two's worth. So yeah, hopefully we get Barrett and get your lady in the window done. We'll try and do some of the other characters that appear in the scene too. So he started working on that just after ChillCon. Was it after ChillCon or just before ChillCon? I can't remember. If you showed me the basis of it when we were there. Now, if you know my streams, this is not in any way remotely typical of how I normally work. But I don't have any base mesh that's suitable for using for like dogs, cats, or anything else. Was there anybody else other than Barrett? I know we had. I know you got Yuffie in there already in a Moogle costume. Other than Barrett in his dodgy sailor outfit, is there anybody else you want for the scene? Yeah, man. Anytime you post that, always put your Somebody asked where you got the models from. Always put your affiliate link in there. It's only fair for you to be compensated for referrals. Do you know what I mean? Everybody else, I'd expect other people to do it. So, you're no different in that respect. It's like a shop taking my stuff and kind of selling it for me. Giving the shop a 40% discount so they can make profit on what they sell. And what we offer you guys as affiliates is only the same. I mean, you're doing the same job essentially. You might not have an actual shop, but it doesn't mean you can't benefit in the same way. So this dog first up, so this is Rosie's actual pet dog. So we need to make sure this guy is an actual dog who can accompany the Rosie miniature in the City Watch. So I think I'm going to put like a little watchdog harness on him. So this is going to be it'll be like a war hand, but it'll also be like a City Watch pooch. Luke, do you have a pet that you want to contribute to the pot? Probably do about half a dozen of them or so for the. I don't even know what Rosie's dog's called. Yeah, so one of the guys who did as the City Watch captain, or one of the City Watch sergeants rather, was Captain Rosie. Originally he asked for his dog to be included in the sculpt as well. Let's get on with music. Why's the music stopped? That's just my sound on my computer. Yeah, so he asked to have his dog included in the set, and for whatever reason I overran the sculpts for the month. Didn't get time to finish the dog, or include the dog rather. So I ended up releasing it without the dog, and ever since then I've meant to do it. And then I thought, a couple of months back now, before Crystal Collapse kind of consumed everything, consumed all my time, I put a thing out on the Patreon to say, you know, if you've got a pet, send your photos in, and I'll sculpt your pet basically, and we'll turn them into a kind of we'll do like a little, you know, D&D animal kind of companion session. So they'll have like little wizard lizards and barbarian dogs or barbarian cats and rogue dogs and stuff like that. Something that fits the personality, but the poll wasn't very well received. It wasn't very highly responded to, so not very many people kind of submitted anything for it, which is a shame because obviously, you know, we want to kind of be doing stuff, but yeah, good show actually. Here's one for you then. I don't know if you know. Is there a Mrs. Red 13? They spin some kind of yarn about him being able to self-reproduce or something. I mean, you'd think they'd have to be, wouldn't you? But see, I've still not played any of the new ones. I love the original. I love all the original one, but I've not played any of the new ones. So I don't have a PS5. I know they're on the PC now. I just still haven't got around to them now since they've come out now. They've got to really, haven't they? I think it's one of these things. I think if they screwed it up, I think there'd be hell to pay. I think the community would just riot against them, wouldn't they? They'd just boycott it and they'd never live it down. So I think they're under a lot of pressure to have to, you know, do the fan service well, make sure that they deliver the goods for the fans. So I know a lot of the time that, you know, they just don't care about, do they? They'll just go, oh no, we're going to do this because it's politically topical right now, or, you know, we don't care about the original fans. We care about bringing in new audiences. If that's your attitude, don't use an old IP. Do you know what I mean? Use a new one. That was the Star Wars ethos, wasn't it? Yeah, the old fans don't matter. They're an anachronism. Yeah, there was a lot of things they could have fallen down on, wasn't there? I think my big concern at the time, I'd say having not played them, I don't know how badly this affects it. My biggest issue was why have you split it into 3 games? That was my biggest concern about it. It was like, why didn't you just do it like the original, where you just do one big game? And obviously it's because they put so much time and effort into it. They need to milk it. They've got to charge like 150 quid for it, haven't they, or more, if they're going to do it as a single game. But I think I'd still rather pay 150 quid and play one game rather than have to work my way through 3 games. That's just me. I mean, I'm sure I'm not alone, but... So pit bulls have these really flat heads, don't they, usually? Oh, I've got a lovely picture of me side on, which is exactly what I needed. It tells me I've completely got this wrong. See, I remember like the original one was like 100 hours, wasn't it? 100 hours of gameplay to kind of like complete the game. And here's one. I mean, I know a lot of people grumble about the price of games now. You get, if you look at it in terms of like minutes of entertainment, you get more from a game like Final Fantasy than you would from like going to the cinema and watching a movie or something. So I don't understand why people object so much. You get used to a certain state of the norm, don't you? Like you know that like something costs this much, and that's the kind of the price point for it, and that's what you're willing to accept. But then obviously everything else in life goes more expensive. We get inflation on groceries and stuff like that. So why should it not apply to other things and more luxury items? Just had a random one. I've had a real interesting discovery this morning. Completely nothing to do with sculpting or any of that kind of stuff. But in the mornings when it's warm, I tend to start my day with an iced coffee. So I'll go and make it myself. And I've gone in the kitchen, and normally what I do is I start with my ground coffee in the mug or in a glass. And I add like a tiny little bit of hot water just to dissolve it. But then obviously I'm starting with a hot drink when I want a cold one. So I thought this morning I would do a cold brew kind of thing, like start it from cold. So I got the blender out and I chucked my ground coffee and my sugar and stuff into the blender. And I thought I'll just blitz it all up to start with. And then I'll add my milk and whatever else and ice and stuff. And I blitzed up half a cup of coffee. So like, I only like half filled my blender jug thing. It's one of those like NutriBullet jobbies. And I put my drink into there. And I blitzed it. And not only did the coffee grinds kind of blend into it, I ended up with like a creamy, frothy drink that completely filled the jug. So blending just black coffee virtually turns it into like a latte, which I had absolutely no idea about. But without adding any milk or anything, I've got a creamy, like, it literally tastes different as well. I've got like a creamy coffee, and all I've done is just blend black coffee, which has baffled me a little bit, frankly. But to finish that off, and that's some caffeine injection to start the morning. Well, I think that's head's wider and the eyes are closer together. Oh mate, there's no barista skills here. That was like, you know, this is like, you know, it's not even a branded coffee. It's Aldi's Al Cafe, kind of gold blends, kind of, you know, £3 a jar kind of stuff. Nothing flash. But even that, you know what I mean? He's frothing it up in a blender. Didn't know it could be done. So I'm going to pull his jaw, his cheekbone out a bit. Cheers, Luke. I mean, it'll look more like a dog when it's got ears. About here, I think. Now, using the Sculpts Pro mode, I can just keep sculpting on top of this and kind of like keep going until I've got the shape I want. If you do this without Sculpts Pro mode, you're going to deform all your polygons and make a real mess. So, if you're using Blender, you can turn on dynamic tessellation, which is one of your sculpting options. It'll do the same thing. Just adds the geometry where you need it rather than doing the entire mesh. I should bring the ears round. I'm hoping Rosie tunes in at some point during this stream because it'd be lovely for him to see his dog taking shape. He's been asking for it for so long. So. Yeah, another one I really like as well from a coffee point of view. This does work better with a nice coffee as a base. You know, spend a bit more and do a fresh ground type coffee. So when you make an iced latte, tablespoon of maple syrup, and then about 1/4 of an avocado. So yeah, Patreon's a little bit of everything, to be honest. I mean, there's my component library is accessible, so anybody on my Patreon on a certain tier has access to my component library. So if you are sculpting yourself, you can get access to the all of those little gubbins I've got that I use for my sculpts. So when I make, like, you know, a wizard's hat, or I make a sword or whatever else, I'll save them back. Drop them in the library and they're there and accessible then to anybody who wants to use them. So there's that. There's obviously the videos, but the videos mostly go on my YouTube page. What I tend to do is if I'm going to put something on YouTube, I'll put it on the Patreon first, with like a little bit of early access to the footage before it goes live on YouTube. There's a tutoring option on there, so you can sign up on the thing if you want one-to-one tutoring for, like, I can't remember, it's about £60 a month, and you get, like, you know, like a 3-hour one-to-one session. So you know, we'll sit down and I'll set you some homework and we'll do some projects and basically see what state your sculpting's in to start with, and then kind of figure out how you want to improve and, you know, work on some skills, set some goals, that kind of thing. And obviously, yeah, there's just chatting about the, you know, what's going on at the moment. So, like, insider information about Crystal Collapse and what's going on there. Now, we're not releasing the Crystal Collapse stuff through the Patreon yet. I am doing a Hero of the Month. So the plan is we're going to do a Mercenary of the Month for Crystal Collapse, and I want to do it as a subscription thing, but it's a digital download. Most of the Crystal Collapse stuff is going to be purely physical. So I've got about half a dozen heroes already that I want to sculpt that aren't necessarily part of the story. they're just characters I've got in my head that I want to do. Some of them are things like, there's a friend of mine, Martin. He's got a daughter, Grace, who's she's awesome, and she is really into all of her anime and fantasy stuff, and she's a little game designer and a sculptor and a painter. She's just a little artist, and she's fantastic. And I love seeing all of her work. And I've said to her, I'm going to sculpt her as a barbarian. So my first Patreon release for Fable for Crystal Collapse, is basically going to be little mini barbarian Grace, which will be cool. Let me just save this. One dog head. And then I've got another one. I mean, I'd like to do my kids as well. I think I need to do like a little, like Jacob's doing his kickboxing at the moment. He's really into that, so I might do Jacob's like a little monk, a little kid monk. And then Willow I'll do her as like a little Hermione-like wizard. And then we've got their own characters for Crystal Collapse, and we'll put them into the game and write rules and stuff. So again, if you want rules for your little one, we can do a little, the kids of Crystal Collapse kind of thing, and we'll sling them all together as a little adventuring party. So I just need photos and your consent to do it, really, and we can make it happen. And then I've got some I've got like a Myra mage or sorcerer that I've come up with, who's like a fire mage, which pet. I've got a pet monkey in there. I didn't even know I'd done a monkey. Might have to revisit some of these. I bet I can't import them. I bet I've done them so long ago it won't let me import the things. Let me see if I can load talking project. Pets monkey. 2018. There's no way this is loading. No way. Yeah. No. Is there any of these I can load? 2020 for the pseudo dragon. My original Warhound 2017. Do you know what? I'm gonna cheat a bit out. I've saved that. Let me open. Let's go file, open. Oh, I've just opened the one I was trying to think of. Open pet Warhound. So this Warhound was in my original range, and I can't remember why I never persisted with it, to be honest. Why didn't I finish this one off? Dog's nuts there, man. Change my material. Oh wait. So we put him on a. Oh, he just needs to be done again, doesn't he? He just needs to come back to the range, I think. Let's get him in there. This model's not been out for 8 years now. 8 years and not seen the marketplace, man. Let's add him into this month's. It's quite a bit like my sister's dog, Rhino. Oh, he'll make it in. He's coming out. He'll come out this time round. I'll release him now. I think I needed to rework the file a little bit. It was originally made for casting, so his legs are split off and then he's a separate piece. And I never bothered to actually go and merge them all together like I've just done. It literally took me 10 seconds, and I should have done it ages ago, really. Well, I didn't, so it's my bad. I'm annoyed I didn't keep a pre-posed version of him because I normally do. Normally I'd have him before I've posed him. I've got this awful thing. It's clearly worked really well, yeah, I mean. So let's just decimate pre-process current. So yeah, the Patreon though, I mean, we're in a bit of a transitional phase with it. So I kind of don't know what it is supposed to be. So originally it was just my monthly miniatures drop, and then I was like, I don't want to be doing a monthly miniatures drop through that. I'm going to do it through the tribes. Tribes is an absolute shower of you know what. So it's not the most user-friendly system in the world, and engagement on it is absolutely awful. So I can put a post up there, I can share stuff, and like literally gets no reactions. You get no proof that anybody's seeing anything you're doing. It's really kind of demoralising, frankly, when you're on it. So it's not the best. It's not the best kind of like platform for anything really. My manufacturer is just generally not great. So yeah, I mean let's drop that down. Let's drop it lower because it can. Split in, hide that. Let's export that one. There we go. Let's go back to the original sculpt because there's nothing of any value in that one for me. Oh, is that what it is? Do you think that's what the reason, the problem is with it then? We have this issue of people not being able to kind of get onto things to be able to kind of. It's too hard for you to actually bother to engage. Yeah, there's something there. There's definitely something that is it's stopping people, and I don't know if it's just people are there to get the files. Do you know what I mean? They're there because they're trying to download things or they're trying to shop for something. They're not there like when you're on social media or you're on Patreon. You go there to read the posts, to see what's going on, and kind of get links and things. You're not there to download stuff. And I kind of in my head I think it's people who are in a different mindset. They're in a different mental place when they're on my manufacturer to when they're on like Patreon or on Facebook or Discord or whatever else. So yeah, well we've got more coming. There'll be obviously I've got Jesse is about 3/4 done. So I've got Wedge and Biggs to follow that. Then we're on the Scorpion boss Scorpion Bot Boss. Hey Riz, how we doing, matey? What people go to buy on You're saying people go to buy on Google and Pinterest, or people go to buy on My Mini Factory? Because I think there's definitely a reason that we get no engagement on there. And I know it's not just me. Engagement is just weak on My Mini Factory generally. Oh, mindset, yeah. Well, I've said loads of times with advertising, it's like, you know, if you advertise on morning, mate. If you advertise on like Facebook, people watch Facebook while they're on the toilet having a dump or something like that. Do you know what I mean? They're not necessarily in the frame of mind where they're going to come and buy something. So you need to show them your ads, let them see your ads, get them to be aware of your brand whilst they're having a dump. You know, lovely conversation for 11 o'clock in the morning, I understand, but you know, it's marketing. You know, they'll become aware of your brand, but they're not going to buy anything while they're sitting there on the loo, necessarily, unless they're, you know, they were buying something already and then they've just come to complete the purchase. Which, you know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it might. So. Trying to figure out the anatomy on a dog. Just give it a neck, 'cause it's a dog. Riz, do you have a pet you want me to add to the collection? Got a ferret. Send me some pictures, man. I'll sculpt your ferret. Go away. Like you lot, some of the fly that keeps going around my head. It's a warm one today, so I've got the office door wide open, and all the bugs are ticking it as an invite to come in and say hello. My sister's dog's a brilliant example of dog anatomy, because he's an XL bully called Rhino. He lives up to his name. It's a unit, absolute unit of a dog. Not Mabel, who is an absolute ball of fur. You can't see nothing going on. Yeah, no worries, Luke. Thanks for dropping in, dude. Thanks for the chat. Always appreciated, always good, and thanks again for sharing your thing. I'll post a link up. I'll put it up on screen later on. And I'll show the Costa del Sol diorama because it's just absolutely epic, mate. Have a good day anyway, dude. I'll catch you later. So Riz, how you doing today, man? Did you have a look at the post about the on Facebook about Etsy? You didn't see it? Ah, hang on a sec. Oh, sure I did. Ah, do you know, yeah, do you know what? Sorry, mate. I was I'm gonna go grab it for you now, actually, but I was gonna send it to you after I'd made it public, weren't I? I don't know if I can share the link to the post, or if I can. Yeah, right, here you go. I'll just pop it on here. My Facebook profile there. If you go on there, it'll be the top post. Most of the posts I put on there are all to do with miniatures and stuff anyway, so it's not far off my actual thingy page, but well, so after doing this staffy, I've got another staffy to do, which has got a chihuahua sitting on its back. Should be a fun one. I realise this is a little bit of a cack-handed way of going about doing these sculpts, but what's your awesome KS idea, mate? Send me on Discord. Good idea. Have you seen Burrows and Badgers? No. No, I do like that. And to be fair, you're right, it wouldn't be a bad shout. Because I think you get all the furries in, wouldn't you? Yeah, Burrows and Badgers is it's been going for a while though. They've built an audience around it. Do you know what I mean? They've really kind of like made that whole kind of thing. So there's like a whole market there for that kind of project. Yeah, Google it, man. Burrows and Badgers. I think they've done Kickstarters as well. So if you look on Kickstarter, you'll find Burrows and Badgers. It's all traditionally sculpted, but it's like a kind of a medieval style fantasy war game with anthropomorphic kind of miniatures. I'll say some really nice stuff in there. Some really nice miniatures. Like I say, it's all traditionally sculpted, cast in metal. and obviously there are people who have done compatible stuff digitally. I mean, it'd almost be nice if you could get all of the, I don't know if you've read the Brian Jacks Red Wall books. It'd almost be nice if you get a license for that, do you know what I mean? And do it based on the Red Wall stuff. What do you mean once again? Oh, Red Wall, that's it. That's Brian, not Brian. Bloody, stupid typing. At least it's letting me send messages this time on the different streams. When I was on last time, it just wouldn't let me do it at all. Trying to send messages and it just completely locked me out. I had to get Chris to just send them instead. Does that look about right for a stuffy? Oh, this is a sculpt. This is stuff I'm overdue by about 3 months, mate. This is me trying to catch up with my with the stuff I'm running behind on. So the plan is, or plan was, oh, this is massive. That's going to kill my resolution. I'll do that. Yeah, so it's animals, but they're going to be turned into like a, what do you call it? Like adventurers. So this guy, this one is a City Watch dog. This one's going to be like a member of the City Watch. I've got another one which has got a chihuahua riding on the back of another one of these staffies. So I'll use this staffy as a base. We'll do the base staffy as some kind of like maybe big burly barbarian. And then, oh excuse me, I got this right in the back of my throat here. Let me just mute you while I die quietly a sec. Sorry about that. Pandemonium Miniatures and Wick as well, good morning to both of you. Hope you guys are keeping well. Okay. So yeah, the plan is I've got like a couple of geckos to do. I've got 2 stuffies. I've got a XL bully. I'm going to sculpt Mabel as well. So and then turn them all into, as well as having the animal versions, we'll also have the oh god, we also have the I can't think what I call them now, like the adventurer versions of them too. Right, so this one's got a tail, so let's... Oops. Nice to see. Cylinder. Go. And then we've got so we've got a collar which I'll put some spikes on, and then we've got the harness, so let's duplicate that. Let's sculpt the harness in place. First one of these rings is going to be here. get the second one up. Let's do the straps going up. Put a watch crest. It's an interesting topic. I mean, there's a lot of venom, it seems, towards people who are doing the dragons thing, or just generally selling other people's designs. A lot of resentment towards them. And obviously it does mean that like artists like myself could potentially use like something like Shop 3D to but I think the resentment comes from like people in the community. There's quite not the eggs, the articulated dragons, you know, when there's like 100,000 listings on there for them for the same thing. I think people just get jaded with seeing them at like craft fairs and things. It's like, you know, it's not original anymore. I mean, I know like my mum went and bought Jacob one for his birthday or Christmas or something like that, and he was quite impressed with it. And obviously he'd never seen them before at that point, and my mum was just like, you know, she don't know what she's buying. She just goes out and sees it's cool and that stuff. So you can't really knock that, but I think when you go onto Etsy and you're searching for anything like that, you know, if you just see like a million vendors selling the same thing, it's just like, you know, it's a saturated market then, isn't it? Yeah, you're right, it doesn't affect the D&D people. But we do have a lot of resellers on there who are not always legitimate. I've been sent quite a few from people who are concerned. They want to say like, you know, you nan what you are. I've got quite a lot of people have messaged me over the years saying I've just spotted your model in this shop or that shop or whatever else. I mean, I've had them sent to me from bloody Temu. You know what I mean? Temu is selling my bloody models. That one wound me up. I'll stop speaking till you're back in. You won't hear a word I'm saying. Yeah, I was just saying I had people sending me messages saying, "Oh, I've seen your models on such and such a shop," and you know, like, you know, checking that it's legit, you know, looking out for me basically, which I always appreciate. But I've even had like my stuff being sold on Temu, and that one pissed me off because the Temu one, it was one of my older models. It was never available as a freebie, so it wasn't even like somebody could do it. And I know I've not licensed it to Temu; they've just got it and sold it. So I had to put a complaint in there and ask them to shut the listing down, and they did. But it says on the listing 7,000 sold, and that just pissed me off. That did, because it's like, you know, I just wish I'd sold 7,000 of that model. And they were like, "Oh, we've donated 50 quid to your to your, you know, your PayPal tips and stuff like that." I'm like, cheers, but like that, you know, you've sold 7,000 of these models, you know, at about 8-9 quid a piece or something like that. You know, as an independent sculptor and you know, creator, I'd kill for that kind of revenue. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they go about it. 'Cause like I said, I can't imagine there's going to be an awful lot they're going to be able to do. Because they can obviously put on there, you know, when you list an item, you know, did you create this yourself? Did you sculpt the file? Did you produce the original digital file and whatever else? They can ask you the questions, but they can't stop you lying to them. Do you know what I mean? There's currently hundreds and hundreds, possibly even thousands of listings on there for STL megapacks that are absolutely, in every single case, invariably illegal scalpings of STL files from... Oh, you fucking arse. Illegal scalpings of stuff from creators like myself. You know, who... Too late, Rich. Oh, do you know what? I haven't even turned nothing on this morning. That ain't gonna work. Oh, do you know what? It auto saved just before I did the last thing anyway, so it was it's good. Literally, I'm 2 minutes behind where I was when I started. I'll live with that. I'll call that a win. Literally, I've just done this bit here and then blocked him from there. How you doing this morning, Rich? Yeah, I was quite surprised actually when I put that Facebook post up. There's quite a few, well, I'll say quite a few people. There's a couple of people who've put laugh reactions on it. This is Rosie's dog, mate, and then I'm going to do your Staffy with the Chihuahua sitting on his back. This is an overdue piece, or an overdue set, really, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, these are the ones. Remember when I asked you for the photos on the Patreon thing ages ago, like months back? Finally getting around to doing it. I've caught up on other stuff. I say I've caught up on other stuff. I haven't caught up on anything. I'm still running behind massively on everything, but I'm trying to kind of progress and make steps forwards, and you know, do some something positive to make sure I'm working in the right direction. You all good anyway, mate? Oops. We were just talking about the, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post the other day, but there was, or yesterday, there's some Etsy changes have come about, which means that they're basically looking at, well, they've changed the terms basically. That means that you can only produce like physical copies of files that you own. Which means all of these licensees, all these people who kind of like resell stuff, are now no longer allowed to sell through. Might be waiting a little bit, mate, but I'll get you something. Yeah, so like all these people on Etsy are now going to get stuffed. So all the people who are like, you know, Alchemist Miniatures and stuff, as an example, doesn't produce any of his own models. He licenses from loads of creators and then sells through, you know, I think he's got his own website as well, but, you know, I'm sure he sells through Etsy. And this ruling is going to mean that he's now no longer allowed to sell through Etsy. So people like myself are going to feel the pinch because we're going to lose merchant licenses, merchant license like sales. So people who have got the merchant licenses, they're going to feel the pain because they're now going to have to find an alternative platform to sell through. So you're going to have the likes of eBay, maybe that New Monday, is it, or something like that. And obviously people are going to go and set up their own web stores and things, so that there's going to be a little bit more of this kind of like people trying to advertise their own, you know, we print minis and all that kind of stuff. Trying to advertise into that market without having the marketplace, which obviously that's gonna cause people some pain, because a lot of people rely on the passive traffic and stuff, and you know, optimizing their SEO on Etsy to try and get seen, and now they're not going to be able to kind of get seen. So it's gonna be a challenge for a lot of people. But we were just talking about how are they going to enforce it, because I mean, genuinely, we have no clue. We don't know what they're planning. We don't know how they're going to kind of go and say, you know, well, all of these listings are now no longer allowed, because frankly, there's currently like hundreds, if not thousands, of STL mega packs, which, like, you know, these dodgy Telegram bastards who go and illegally scalp everyone's files and then go and sell them for like you know, a subscription fee or something on Telegram. So people will go and spend 30 quid a month to have unlimited access to some, you know, dodgy Telegram channel where they can get all the stuff, rather than come to, like, you know, my own website and buy the stuff from me directly. I don't benefit from that. The people who are, you know, selling it don't license it, they don't pay for it. They might be paying for it, but they're not, you know, I suspect there's probably like you know, maybe one or two that are prolific in terms of actually getting the files, and then other people subscribe to them and probably steal them and then just resell them from them. Because, you know, we're dealing with a whole rake of unscrupulous bastards here, so... Etsy need to be more proactive about stopping things like that are actually genuinely illegal and damaging to businesses and their own reputation, frankly, than you know, than trying to screw over people who are creating stuff under a proper license because they don't like the fact that too many people selling bloody articulated dragons, which seems to be, from what I can tell, seems to be where the issue has arisen from. Mate, I am. I've got no issues with the merchants selling stuff. You know, they can do it all they like. It's Etsy's policies, though. If Etsy's saying that no, you can't. I mean, my merchants, if they're going to license it from me, they have to be able to credit me for the work. So they can't go and claim that my work is their work, you know what I mean? Because that creates conflicts and issues, and it's just dishonest generally. And that's the only way I think they're going to be able to get on with it, is if they actually say that this is this is my own work, whatever. So I don't know there's an easy way around it. I don't know if there's an easy way for them to enforce it, or whether it's just something that they've just, you know, written into their terms and they're just open for the best, and, you know, they've got no real plans about it. But whoever knows, you know what I mean? Let's go insert, create insert mesh, append. Let's get a belt buckle. Let's go into my what do we call it? Components library. I'm sure it's going to be like miscellaneous parts or something like that. Buckle. clothing and armour. Buckle. No, that's an old buckle. Maybe I'll not put my new buckle in there. Oh dear. Buckle, where are you, buckle? Buckle new 2. Sounds like the one. Say buckle a few more times, it sounds weird. Buckle. I hate that. You know when like you say something a few too many times and it makes no sense. You feel like it's not even a real word. Like this is made up. There's no way that's a real word. How was your weekend anyway, Rich? You up to anything nice? Ah, cool. Still haven't touched that game yet. I might at some point, but at this stage now, I'm not even sure if I'll get around to it at all. Let's give him a little shield on his chest. So he's got his little watchman shield. I just need to make sure it's the same as my other watchman. So I'm just going to go and import and just save it quick. Yeah, I had a nice chill weekend. Obviously it's Father's Day, so we had a bit of a chill family day on Sunday. Went out for a little bit of breakfast. The beef eater. Can't knock a beef eater breakfast. Especially if you've got kids. Pro tip, guys, if you've got kids. Beef eater for breakfast. Continental, all you can eat buffet. Followed up by cook to order breakfast. They tend to screw the eggs up at our one, but you know, they haven't always. They've been used to be good. But yeah, continental breakfast. Get all your gear in, and it's $10.99, including all your drinks and everything else. $10.99 for your breakfast, and your kids eat free. So you just can't even grumble. Do you know what I mean? I was going to delete some stuff here, so I've got some. I'm going to reduce the weight of the files a touch. There's Rosie, that's the one I want. Where are you at? Come on. Oh, do you know, I didn't even give him badges in the latest version. That was naughty of me. So I think I might just put a truncheon on his on his belt, on his harness on the side. There's certain accessories all of these guys have got, so got your pony there, Rich. Lucy. Well, so the original ones had like the star badge. Yeah, we've got Lucy now. There you go, do you recognise this handsome fella? All of my city watching though, they're still half painted on my painting desk. I really need to sit down and pull my finger out and actually get these guys painted because they're really nice models. There's a mini dwarf version of me. There's little Elston. True sized. Nirhana and Mr. Foster. Sorry guys, this is a bit of housekeeping here. I'm boring you with this, sorry. So. Why did I leave so much crap in the folder here? Half of this stuff should have just been deleted when I did the original files. was one of my early attempts at making a mesh to use as an insert mesh for chainmail. Didn't work. Sack that and relegate that to the history books for all the wrong reasons. That's my City Guard helmet. Let's export that, save that one down. Well, I think I've removed enough crap out of my file that I can just work on it now. Yeah, it's probably easier to mask off the bits I do want, isn't it? Or unmask the bits I want to keep. Doesn't need to be perfect, but I do want to make sure I haven't got too much. I'm going to start posing it. I don't want all of these overlapping too much. Afford a little bit of extra meat on the bones and I'll delete everything else. So just tidying up the mesh a little bit, just so there's no pull through. And I want to keep the poly count as low as possible. So all this rough mesh, although you're not going to really see it because it's going to be inside, all the really scruffy, scrabby bit I've just done. You won't see that because it's going to be hidden inside the body of the model, but what it is going to do is it's going to add a ton of extra polys, which I just don't want to deal with. Clean up the edges of the mesh with the belts. Don't need to worry too much about that as long as it's all contained inside. I believe it is. Oh yeah, your new D&D character since Olaf kicked the bucket. new character, mate. Lizard wizard. I'm making a lizard wizard today. I'll make a gecko, turn him into a wizard. It's probably not what you're after. It'll be like, you know, my otter mage. It'll be along those kind of lines, but it'll be a gecko. Yeah, for sure, man. My sister-in-law's got 2 geckos. She's got a leopard gecko called Gary. And then she had a little green tree gecko called Buddy, and he died recently, unfortunately. And now they've got a little orange tree gecko called Ember. So I was gonna do the leopard gecko as a wizard, and I was gonna do Ember as a little maybe like a little rogue or something like that. Yeah, it's not going to be a humanoid anthropomorphic thing. It's going to be like have you ever watched Superworm? Have you ever seen the book Superworm? There's a lizard wizard in that. He's like the bad guy. I can't remember if he's got a name or if they just call him Lizard Wizard. Do you know, I often wonder this, do people tend to, and I'd be interested to see if anybody else on the stream's got thoughts on this, do people, when you're making RPG characters for D&D or Pathfinder or anything else, do you tend to kind of go, here's a piece of artwork I really like, or here's a miniature I really like, if you're playing with miniatures, and then design your character around that, or do you get an idea for a character and then go out on a mission trying to find something that matches? So obviously the former is the easier one to deal with. You find the artwork first and then create the character based on something that exists. But I suspect a lot of people, yeah, as you say, Rich, you think you're in the minority. I think you might be right. I suspect a lot of people come up with an idea for a character and then kind of build it and develop it, and then have to try and find something that fits the bill. I think this dog's nose needs to be longer. Let me just mask it off. What do you think, Rich? I know it's not your dog yet, but do you think the head's too small? I think the head's too small, isn't it? I think the head's too small for the body. Let's make it a touch bigger. So this is Rosie's dog. It looks like it's a little white staffy, I think. I'll show you. Oh, American Bulldog, you reckon? Let's message him and see. I want to as stuffy if you ain't, so. Right, there we go. I've messaged him now. You sent me on the on the Patreon chat a picture of I think, is it a stuffy with a chihuahua sat on his back? This beautiful creature. And then this big old unit as well. Lionel the Pitbull. Have you got another photo of Lionel, mate? Because I'm looking at your photo here, and it's all kind of like heading to the. And your Chihuahua's a bit of a. It's got almost like a fox head, hasn't it? Can you ping some over on Discord, mate? So I've got some different angles to work with. Your Chihuahua, like my mum's Chihuahua, has got like a wide head with massive, great big bulging eyes. Yours has almost got like. It almost looks like a skinny beige Jack Russell or something, doesn't it? Oh, she's a cry. Ah, that makes more sense then. Well, I'll tell you what then. While I'm waiting for your photos to come through, let's get on with Rhino. Go and message the wife back. Right then. So, Rhino. Let's get on with Rhino. This dog is just an epic unit of an animal. Do you know, I'm going to put you on a BRB just so I can have a quick leg stretch while I send myself the images. So I've got them on a WhatsApp here, so I need to get them uploaded onto my Google Drive. Let me pop you on BRB, guys. I'll be back here in a second, okay? Okay, I'm back. Phil, Facebook, good morning. Good afternoon, rather. How you doing, dude? Kiss Deck on Twitch. Best viewers on Bootstrap Online. No, thank you. What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. There we go. There's Rosie's dog, which we think might be an American Bulldog. Which is correct. I've messaged Rosie to find out. Right, so I've got a load of photos on my Google Drive. I'll find them now. Get down. Right, mate. Right, guys, so this is Rhino, the unit. Guy's a prize winner. He's like a world champion. There he is again. And another one. None of these photos quite give away how absolutely massive he is, though. Oh, actually, that one kind of does. You can see the knee line there is up to about his shoulder. When he stands up, he's taller than most people, so. He's just huge. Let's just go find that on Instagram. I think it's Instagram. Do you know what? This is basically the Warhound that I sculpted before. There you go. I think size-wise that feels appropriate. so there's one. Right, next one. The face on this one is just a completely different shape. It's just so much longer, like downwards kind of thing. So it's broader as well. I think it's a million miles away from the dog I've just sculpted, but he's definitely going to be bigger. He looks a bit like a miniature French bulldog at the moment, which is totally not right. think. His snout's longer than I thought it was. His ears are shorter than I thought they were. Oh, Riz, do you know what? I ain't even doing fur, mate. They're all short-haired dogs, so not even worth doing. But I actually don't mind it. I don't mind doing fur. I mean, if I was doing it, which I'm not, it's easy enough to do anyway. But you got some smart way of doing it, yeah. You know exactly what my technique is. My technique is I just sculpt everything. Adam, how you doing, mate? I am, mate. If you want to send me photos over of your dog, I'll add it to the collection. couple of pictures of Riley over and I'll add her on. Cool. I don't have that many actually. I didn't get many submissions through for the thing when I put the request out on the Patreon. I put the shout out about 4 times, and nobody kind of came back. It was just Richard, I think. And I've already got Rosie in the queue, so Rosie's dog's here. Which I think is maybe an American Bulldog. And then we're doing my sister's dog, Rhino. He's a unit, so got a proper warhound. There you go. There he is. I'm gonna do Mabel. After him, I'm gonna have a break from the dogs for a minute. I'm gonna go and do. Got a couple of geckos to do. A leopard gecko and a tree gecko, I think it is. And turn one of them into a wizard, a lizard wizard. Wizard lizard. Well, when I'm doing Mabel, when I sculpt Mabel, she absolutely needs. Yeah, nice point. Yeah, yeah, she needs like hair because she's got quite long fur. But then for like this one here, Rhino. I mean, this is Rhino. You can see his fur's so short on him. There's no point in sculpting it. Just make his eyes smaller, I think. That's my nephew, thinking he's all gangster. Down Birmingham canals. Did a bit of a Peaky Blinders photo shoot, I think they were. Let's find a good photograph of the side of him. Alright. Looking at a top-down view of Rhino, he's got this muscle line all the way down his back. Now I think Rhino's eyes are smaller than this. Front paws, which are massive. Okay, how you doing? You had a lovely weekend? So what are you working on today, O'Keller? It's going alright, mate. Going alright. Nice chill weekend, the sun's shining, nice and warm. And I'm just chilling, sculpting some animals. Just back home from work. Nice. What do you do for a living, man? You said you live in Serbia, was it? I think with Max, who I'm working with in Crystal Collapse, he's in Serbia at the moment on holiday with his family. Keep sending me photographs of lovely sunshine. I didn't know he was going until about a few days ago. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be away for 3 weeks." So I'm going to I think it was Montenegro. He said he was going. Oh, it was Montenegro or near there. So. Ah, right, cool, decorating. or decorating building working and stuff. The lazy Serbs. Don't pretend you wouldn't be one if you got the choice. I believe you would. There you go, he looks like a protector, doesn't he? Okay, let's just do a quick render of this and send it off to my sister. Right, so if I'm doing shoulder pads, I usually push them straight in because you don't want the gaps underneath. Because you're not going to paint inside the shoulder pad unless you're doing like a large scale model. Typically, I don't even make a shoulder pad kind of thing. I'll just sling like a sphere onto the shoulder and then sculpt it to be whatever shape I want it to be. Right then, so obviously if you want to do symmetry, you'll have to shape it first, but I'd still leave the whole thing like as like a solid shape rather than a kind of a hollowed one. Okay, so there we go. There's Rhino done. Let's turn him into a barbarian now. Yeah, it's the only time you want to ever leave the pads hollow is if you're going to have them as an optional thing. So like they've got to be glued on. So like, you know, if you were doing like a larger kit, then yeah, you might want to put a yeah, if you're doing something larger like a I don't know, 100mm model or a you know, highly detailed model kit, you might want to have things like the shoulder pads paintable separately so they can be what do you call it? They can do like sub-assemblies and then paint everything and then like fit it all together. But if you're talking miniatures, it's never worth hollowing the pad out. Nah, man, just go completely solid like I'm doing here. I mean, it's not a shoulder pad, but it's not far off. Doing with layers anyway. What I often do is if I want to kind of have if I want to do a secondary shoulder pad kind of thing, I want to put a bit of thickness to it without making the shoulder pad look too thick. I'll sculpt the shoulder pad, but then I'll put like a leather pad under it. And the leather pad is like a bit of, well, it's a bit of padding for the wearer, but it's also a bit of bulking out on the model to help fill the gaps. It's not even on steroids, mate. This is literally my sister's dog. I'm just turning him into a barbarian at the moment. Oh, there he is. Rhino. Bit of a poser, he's a show dog, so like a world champion. But he's obviously enormous. That was him when he was a puppy. He's just an absolute unit of a dog. It's my nephew dressed as bloody what's his name? Dahmer, was it? Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, why they thought that was a great, he's like 15, my nephew is, or probably 14 when they did this one. Why they thought dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer was a good idea for a photo shoot with a dog. It was beyond me. It was just as Negan on this one. There you go, Mahusive dog. Yeah, I'm just going on giving him some barbarian get up at the moment, so we can use him as a D&D character. So for fur, for chunky fur, this isn't like the fur you'd have on a short-haired dog, but like for like chunky type stuff like this, I'll sculpt in the rough bulk of it symmetrically, and then come in and just change it up using the snake hook brush, just to create some texture to it. Be mindful about creating islands for supports. So try and like extrude it back into the body wherever you can, rather than having things free hanging. We don't want like to see this area here. We've got like little gaps between the body and the fur. That's a big no-no. Do not want the little gaps. Bigger gaps, fair enough, but little gaps like that are just going to cause problems. We're going to have to fill them later, so we might as well try and close them now. Yeah, Kelly, you definitely think he's getting special food, isn't he? But yeah, they were breeding him and studying him out and stuff like that, and taking him around all the competitions. He got like world champion status, and then they banned the breed here in the UK, so they can't actually breed him anymore. So I don't know if they're actually doing it or not, but they were talking about taking him abroad and kind of going and doing you know, to like Romania and other places in Europe where they're not banned, taking him there to do like some breeding with him. So it's a shame to get him the world champion status, and then you can't, you know, you can't use that. He's an XL bully. But here in the UK, the breed got banned. You can still keep them, but they've got to have muzzles on at all times when they're out in public. You're not allowed to, you're not allowed to breed them. And I think if they actually hurt anybody, you can get in a lot of trouble because they're classed as like a deadly weapon or something. So let me just check. Alexa, show me the front door. Give me a second, guys. Oh, sorry guys. Someone's car alarm was going off outside like a crazy thing, and I wanted to just make sure it wasn't mine before we carried on. Thinking if it's going off like that and I'm ignoring it, it's going to piss off all the neighbours. It's not mine, so I can just complain about it now. it's annoying. I've sent the pictures onto my sister, and I've sent them onto Rosie. So the two I've done today, I've sent them both to the people they're for. And my sister's a hairdresser, so she's going to be like busy, like doing hair. She ain't going to see it until much later. I doubt she'll check Instagram during the middle of the day. And then Rosie's, sometimes he's around, sometimes he's not, and today clearly he's not because he hasn't replied either. So yeah, the longer fur like this, what I tend to do, I'll sculpt the tufts and the clumps using clay buildup, like that. Then use my snake hook brush, sorry, to pull some of the strands, so there's some like I say tufty form to it. And then once we've got the strands in, I'll come back in with my all cracks brush. And I'm just going to kind of go through all of this and just gradually draw like strands onto everything, but try and do it without overlapping the strands. Barbarian dog wise, there's a British bulldog in the park who we see in the park a lot by us, and his name's Conan. And this thing is like, he's so broad and stocky, and he just waddles around the park like drool hanging out his mouth all the time. Lovely dog. And every time he sees you, he comes. Well, he sees me at least. He comes running over because he knows I have a bag of treats usually. Normally give him a little treat. You never see him run otherwise normally. He's like really like sluggish and just kind of like plodding along. But yeah, anytime he sees me, he knows I give him treats. He comes running over to me. I say running. It's not quite running. It's the closest thing that passes for running for him, I think. alarms are going off again. This is people leaving their cars outside, winding the windows down because it's hot. They don't want the car to be like an oven when they're getting it later. You got Riz. Don't tell me you've rebuilt Etsy already. You got distracted. Have you been sculpting pets like me? What are you working on? Ah, nice. Cool. I think it'll look awesome when he's finished. Show you the other dogs we're going to do today, or on this thing. So we've got Mabel, my mutt. We got there she is again, having a little chill around the wheels of the car. Shoulder pads up? Nah, the shoulder pads look perfect, mate. I'm assuming you're going 28mm scale. They look spot on. Keep them chunky. Who else we got? So we've got Mabel, then we've got William. There we go, there's William. Little chihuahua, long-haired chihuahua. And then we got Pixie. Pixie's my mum, one of my mum's chihuahuas. It's a bit chunkier than that now, but. And we've got, love this photo. Another chihuahua, Dexter. His little Mexican hat on. Ever so slightly racist, perhaps. Who cares? There you go. Pixie with a backpack, little dress. One of Dexter in his Mexican hat, yeah. So yeah, so we work for all these little doggies. And in the meantime, let's try and get the lizards. here's the lizards we're doing. So the leopard gecko is called Gary. That's Gary, he's up next. And then we've got that one is Buddy. There's Buddy. That's a massive iguana that is at the butterfly farm in Stratford upon Avon. There's Buddy and Gary together. He's a funny looking thing, isn't he, that one? So we'll finish barbarianising Rhino. Scrub away the areas we don't need, and I can get in there and clean up the edges of the belts. Scraping here, gouge it out, and I can get in from the outside and we can polish it and clean it and buff it, make it nice and sharp. Sod off with your silly alarms. What do you reckon that quick? 30-40 minutes a model. Trying to crank an army out. X. Sim, drop it down to 8. I thought you were about to go all in on it then, Riz. Yeah, save the anthropomorphic stuff for a bit later. Oh shite, that was a big one. Yeah, the nice thing with the 15mm stuff, it's not going to take long to get painted. You know what I mean? It'll be a quick turnaround. Doing a little bit of painting last night as well myself. I was doing some of the Crystal Collapse minis till quite late. Yeah, the animals with a story would be cool. Redo Game of Thrones, but with the actual wolves and rats and lions and stuff. Or you do what Disney did with Robin Hood, and take a traditional folklore type thing and then redo it using anthropomorphic characters. I mean, obviously Robin Hood's already been done once, but doesn't mean to say it can't be done again. I'm sure there's others. Don't have to be British folklore, it could be from anywhere. Yeah, animal camelot, that'd be cool. Started off as a mouse and he's ended up half Yoda. Oh, it happens sometimes, doesn't it? Designs evolve as you go. I say labyrinth style, what Jim Henson Muppet-esque you mean, like a little bit stylised and weird and crazy kind of thing. Slightly dark and twisted. Yeah, dark crystal-y. There's a squeaky noise in the room behind me. I think it's Mabel snoring. Sounds like she swallowed one of the squeakers out of the toy or something. You can hear it. Yeah, that's the dog snoring. You up and about now, mates? God's sake, will somebody just turn that bloody alarm off? Let's add a sword. Component library, swords and daggers, swords, short swords. belts up. Right, there we go, let's call the barbarian dog done. Okay, so we've got standard Rhino, who is just in his show pose, and then we'll have Rhino the Barbarian, who I think I'll do a foot on rock type pose with, and let's just save him for now. I did it super sneaky. I did draw it on, and then I masked off all the body, and then just deleted the polygroups, and then closed holes, and then just scrubbed it away. So what I do is I draw it on, and then I remove all of the bits of I drew it on onto a clone of the base mesh, and then I delete all of the extra stuff that we're not using, and then clean up the edges. Usually. I don't always do that. If I don't need to do it, I won't. But when I'm drawing stuff like the belts and stuff like that, I want the edges to be nice and sharp. And I find it's easier to do that when I can gouge into it. And it's easier to do that when you're not working on a high poly mesh and all that kind of stuff. So let's give this guy some scars as well. go, that's 2 dogs done, and I'm going to have to stop the stream because I've got to go pick the kids up in about 20 minutes and I don't want to get too stuck in. So guys, I am going to drop stream now. I'm going to leave this, and then tomorrow when we come back, I'll be doing the Lizard Wizard. Lizard Wizard? Sounds weird. Cheers, mate. Comes out Gracie. Yes, I'll be back on tomorrow, sometime between 10 and 11, give or take. And I'll be resuming here, so we'll do a little bit more on this guy to get him posed up. And then we'll do another version, another one with the lizard, the 2 geckos tomorrow. So 1 wizard and 1 maybe like a sneaky rogue or something like that. So yeah, come back and join me tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you later, mate, and catch you later, taters. Adios, peeps. Bye bye.